Picture this: Jordan Mason scores his very first career touchdown, and just like that, it gets wiped off the board thanks to a holding penalty. It's as if someone took a giant eraser and decided, nope, not today. This little mishap really drives home the point that discipline in sports is as important as knowing how to tie your cleats, because without it, your big moment could vanish faster than your last slice of pizza in the dorm. And if you thought that was bad, hold on to your helmets. The second touchdown pass? Also called back because the players didn't reset properly. It's like watching a group of friends trying to organize a group photo, but instead, everyone stands in different time zones. Clearly, communication is key, folks. If only they had practiced their teamwork makes the dream work, chant a tad more. The video also dives into how penalties like illegal block in the back can turn an offensive masterpiece into a stunning disaster. It's like finally getting that perfect selfie only to realize you had a piece of spinach stuck in your teeth. Maintaining legal play in football is like trying to juggle while riding a unicycle. One slip up, and you're face first in the grass. And speaking of faceplants, let's talk about that face mask penalty that got reviewed. Turns out, the offense didn't even commit the foul. But hey, life isn't fair, right? The only fair we know is the one that comes to town once a year. Still, the poor team ended up coughing up a 15-yard penalty. It's like getting slapped with a late fee for returning your library book a day too late. Yikes. Now, let's spice things up with the New York team's repeated false start penalties, which had us all on the edge of our seats. Seriously, it was like watching a magic show where the same trick fails over and over again. Clearly, discipline and focus went out the window, and frustrations were mounting faster than the laundry pile in your dorm room. Not the way you want to handle crucial moments. As the game heated up, a pivotal play near the goal line needed a review for possession. We've all been there, right? Sitting through a tense moment that feels like a poorly timed breath before a big quiz. Accurate officiating is everything in these nail-biting situations, because one wrong call can turn cheering fans into confused spectators faster than a squirrel on espresso. And let's not forget the coach-players communication that's crucial during high-pressure situations. It's like trying to navigate a crowded cafeteria at lunch. Without a clear strategy, chaos reigns supreme. In those critical moments, any confusion can lead to the dreaded facepalm moment. Nobody wants to be that team, right? Now, when it comes to performance under pressure, the stakes get raised even higher. We witnessed Sam Darnold's fourth interception in as many games. Talk about putting the pressure cooker on high. His decision-making has folks wondering if he'd accidentally confused the football with a loaf of bread. Spoiler, the bread's not gonna throw a touchdown. Penalties and scoring opportunities. Just when you think you can finally celebrate, bam. A touchdown gets nullified because of a holding call on the Browns' offensive line. It's like celebrating your birthday only to discover someone forgot the cake. These moments can be real game changers, folks. Nothing says happy birthday like a heaping serving of disappointment. Speaking of celebrations, we've got those controversial celebration penalties that make players feel like they should express their joy without any restrictions. It's a real debate, akin to trying to figure out whether pineapple belongs on pizza. Where is the line drawn on celebrations? Just remember, folks, there's a time and place for everything, even if you feel like dancing after a touchdown. Now, let's dive into the complex world of pass interference. It's a wild dance between offensive and defensive players that can sometimes resemble a bizarre game of Twister. Sometimes it feels like the officiating crew needs a PhD in interpretive dance just to understand what's going on. Seriously, fair officiating in football can be trickier than balancing your social life with your study schedule. And then there are personal fouls, like unnecessary roughness. Those pesky penalties can lead to hefty consequences for teams. It's not just about the game anymore, player safety is on the line too. With every rough tackle, it's like watching your friend attempt an extreme sport without any safety gear. Ouch. This whole discussion around officiating complexities brings to light just how tricky it can be, especially when it comes to personal fouls during crucial moments. It's like walking a tightrope while juggling flaming torches. One wrong move, and suddenly you've got a circus show that nobody asked for, dramatically shifting the game's dynamics. Meanwhile, players' reactions to penalties are like emotional roller coasters. You can practically see their frustrations bubbling over like a bad pot of ramen left on the stove. These reactions not only display their passion but also reveal how crucial these decisions are for team morale and strategy. It's like watching your roommate get their hand stuck in the cookie jar, lots of feelings involved. As we analyze specific plays, it becomes clear just how fast-paced football can lead to nail-biting calls for referees. Imagine refereeing a game that moves faster than your last-minute study session before finals. The need for clear communication and understanding among officials is paramount, because one missed call can turn the tide of the game quicker than a pizza delivery guy at a dorm party. Now, Let's wrap this up by discussing the unnecessary roughness penalty called on defense number 39. This moment perfectly illustrates the spotlight that players are under, always scrutinized regarding safety and officiating calls. One decision can create a ripple effect that dramatically influences the game's momentum, almost as if your favorite professor unexpectedly assigns a pop quiz. To add a final twist, the tense exchange between quarterback Deshaun Watson and offensive lineman Dean Jones became a highlight reel of pressure. It's like watching two friends argue over whose turn it is to pick the movie. Communication and teamwork are essential to overcoming such challenges, because if they can't work together, it's game over, folks. Finally, let's not forget about that interception thrown by Jordan Love. It's a classic case of missed opportunities and mistakes during tense game moments. Much like forgetting to hit save on your final paper, such errors can be absolutely pivotal in determining how the game plays out. So stay sharp, folks, because in the world of football and college life, every little detail counts.